down to the inside. We're around the outside. Much deeper. Nearly spins. Contact. Side by side here. The wins on his second outing. The hoop spins.
Yo, what's good, everyone? Give me 2 seconds to set up my camera. But in the meantime, welcome to the stream, everyone. It's scuffed as usual. This is it. This is 10 controls. This is what we're all about. Boys, don't worry. Okay, I'm starting the webcam. Hold on. I'm joined here today by Adam, so known as Boss Man. Talk to him, man.
What's going on?
Camera. Let's go. New
There we
angle.
go.
Table, right? Oh, I think we're good. Okay. My headphones gone. Okay. There's a little bit of a technical difficulty. So I had to go crazy for like a minute, but it's fine. We're back. We're good. We're good. We're going strong. Okay. Today, the A round 8 Shanghai, as you can see from right here, the very beautiful text at the top. Now, China's a very interesting track. Obviously, racing is good, but on the game, the grip is very low. And to be honest, with tire strategy, I'm pretty sure hard medium is the way to go. I don't know, in your experience, boss man, how many China races have you had? Or watched?
I've called one or two, but I have run a fair amount of races at China. And just from the race I called last week in my other league, that turn 7 section could be really crucial. I saw a couple people lose the back ends. But the 8, 9, and 10 section I think is the easiest part of the track to get wrong. And if you want a really good lap, you have to get it absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, you're right. It's gonna be a tricky one. Qualifying is gonna be important. And let's take a look at the standings. Obviously, last week at Baku, Alfa Romeo took the win over Melon and brought that gap right down to 5 points. The championship is all to play for still, and he's on Melon's toes.
That's the tier B standings, boss.
There you go. There was nothing wrong. You didn't see anything. It was the correct the whole time. Now, this is the standings I was talking about, not those other ones that you didn't see, obviously, because there was nothing wrong. Ooh. I think there was an issue, but I think it was sorted. Ah. See, so Philip's tried to join, but he had the wrong account name, so everyone was confused. I think they're figuring it out. Anyways, the constructor standings, obviously, with that really strong finish in Austria, AlphaTauri have still got that really strong lead. But P2 though, quite tight. Red Bull, Williams, and Ferrari all within 6 points. My math is correct. I got an A in my last exam, so I believe I am a very, very high level mathematician. I only got 1 mark though. Yeah, sorry?
I'm going to trust your math.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been working very hard on day before revision. And it always worked. Even though I should definitely change that because it's a really bad habit. You know what I mean?
Yes. I actually had a psychology test yesterday.
Yeah? How'd it go?
I got an A.
Nice.
Great test.
A fellow genius commentating with this is
Yes.
this is why we have such intelligent commentary, guys. You see why. You see who you guys have broadcasting. This is why the content is so good. And this is why we never have any scuffed intros to the stream. Anyways, we're about to get going with qualifying. About to head into the lobby. Everyone's just loading in. And you will be seeing some interesting things with people's names. You're like, what's going on? What's this abbreviation that everyone's got? That's 10C. And we just recently launched 10C Esports. Very cool organization. The #1 esports team. #1. No one's going to beat us in the upcoming championship, of course. Best team on the planet, best team in the world. Shush. Mute says to turn the AC server on. Soon TM. Also, spam John for it. Ah, my camera fell. It's fine. We're going into the race. Don't worry. No scuffs. Professional streaming. Obviously. Now, hope there's no with the lobby. I think we are golden.
I think we are too. So what competitions are the esports team going to be involved in?
That is what we call the 10 Controls Cup. The very epic championship tournament that I ingeniously came up with, you know, as I do. And there's going to be 10 teams / leagues, you know, competing against each other for juicy $100. It's going to be fun to watch us win.
Because we have Melon.
Yes, Melon is very strong, but our whole team is strong. Okay? It's a team effort. It's a constructors championship, not a drivers championship. So, Max Fan tells us that we have rain in the race.
Oh, goody. I love rain races.
I'm rubbing my hands already. You know what this means.
It's chaos.
Now, I know that some people have practiced the wet for this, but I don't think you can be really prepared when it comes to wet races on this game. Obviously, being how consistent and stable the game is. You know. Some people have opted for the wet setups. I don't know how long the rain is. Maybe they'll be even being trolled. Because I wouldn't put it past Max Fan to just lie. But, you know.
Nor would I.
Thank you, Prime Sub Melon Poggers1. My good friend from Southwest London.
I thought you were from South London.
I am from Southeast. It's different. You're missing a reference here, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. We got Melon. First lap of the qualifying session. We have Philip, sorry. Did I say Philip? I said Philip, right? Or did I say Melon?
You said Melon the first
Damn,
time.
okay,
But
yeah.
it is Philip.
I had Melons on my mind. Philip in the first sector. And this first lap on board for Haas Formula 1 team, who recently launched their livery, which I initially thought was disgusting. Then 2 seconds later, I thought it was amazing. I don't know about you. What do you think, Adam?
It's a great livery. I loved it.
I agree.
The black on the side kind of reminds me of when they ran NASCAR with Stuart Haas. I thought it was a great livery.
I agree. It's way better than last year's. So, we had the yellow flags. I don't know what happened to Brim. Anyways, moving on. Melon, Alfa, and well, not Alfa Romeo anymore. We have Romeo Gagliotti. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I know I might be butchering it, but it is what it is. Romeo on his out lap 2. I think that's him coming to the end of the straight. Although his teammate's also on an outlap. And getting a toe from the AlphaTauri there. Either intentionally or unintentionally. Philip might have just got a nice boost down the straight. So this could be looking at a good banker here. Final corner. Keeps it clean, keeps it tidy. It's going to be a 33-2 the first lap on the board. I think we might see a few people giving each other toes. Because that is quite a long straight and it could definitely make the difference in lap time.
We do not endorse what's going on in the chat. That is not the real 10 controls. As we watch Antonio through the first sector, working his way around the hairpin through turn 6 into one of the more technical portions of the track. Trying just to keep the back end in line through 7 and 8. Ferrari looking to get up there with Philip and Imagine. As Calcess with a 32.7. Pretty good lap from the AlphaTauri.
Thank you for the follow, Simpson 2137, my man. Calcess, that's a really strong time, and he's the only controller driver in the tier. So pretty good lap time. I don't know how the lap times are, you know, if it's comparing a wheel and a controller. I wouldn't. For me, this track might be hell for a controller player. You know, unlike myself, I'm obviously playing on the most expensive Fanatec gear possible. Definitely not an Xbox One controller. See, Antonio Brancati goes P3 with a 32.9, 500s behind Faded.
As Melon in with a 32.5. 0.2 of a second clear of Calcess and 0.4 of a second clear of the field.
That is a statement lap right there.
Then AlphaTauri 1-2. You watch Romeo through turn 14 and 15. He'll work his way around the final corner. There's a little bit of that apex up to the line. It's faster than Melon. It's a 132.3.
This is what I like to see. Romeo and Melon are going at it, and that is a strong time. Over a 10.5 faster than Melon. Romeo's coming strong. Romeo's coming strong. I like it. I like it.
Do you think we're gonna see times in the low 131s?
Oh, that is like pretty high level, even for these guys. I don't put it past anyone to put it into the 31s. But if anyone puts into the low 31s, I think they may have contacted a scientist American who used to race a Red Bull in Tier B. But anyways, we don't talk about that.
No, we don't. Kudos through turn 4. We'll come to the end of Sector 1. What's the time? It's a 24-7. Not a bad Sector 1. It's a great run through the hairpin. The neon green helmet on that dark green Aston Martin. Through turn 7.
Now you can see, well, if you saw on the standings, that Kudos and Imagine, the teammates, the Germans, they're actually on equal points. They've been quite close to each other all season. And it's going to be interesting to see who's going to come out on top between them.
Got a little bit of wheel spin out of turn 10. Might have cost him just maybe a 1/10 of a second or two. They'll use the apex on the exit of 13 as he opens DRS down the back straightaway, setting himself up for this big hairpin in turn 14. To use a little bit of apex as he sets himself up for the final corner and the run across the line. Bit wide on the exit, but up to the line, it's a 33.6. Good enough for only 15th. He's tied with his teammate Imagine as he jumps just in front of his teammate Imagine.
Yeah, he's definitely going to want to improve on that to get a stronger qualifying position. Now, I have a sense that Romeo might have just gone for the dry setup and Melon may have gone for the wet setup. If what Maxwell said is true, our Red Bull pit crew engineer.
I would agree with that. But I think, you know, we don't really know what the radar looks like for the race. I think that'd be a great addition if you're listening, EA. But you know, I think we should. I would have gone with a wet setup if what Max Fan said is true. Although, you know, at this track position is everything. So
Yeah. Of course, if there is rain, we don't know for how long and how strong. So it's really all up in the air until the time comes, of course. Here's Calces, about to start his second lap of the session. Obviously, currently sitting in P3, just behind his teammate. And let's see if he can make up any more positions.
he had a pretty strong first lap. He's gonna need about 2 or 3/10 of a second as Vixel up to 4th with a 32.8. Strong lap from the Alfa Romeo.
Now, Vixel, wait, I believe he has yet to score a point. And that is a really strong lap. 32.8. Vixel might just love this track. I guess we're just finding this out in real time.
What temperature are his tires?
According to my analysis, they look good. He passes the check.
Okay.
As we go on board with Melon. He's going to want to take this from Romeo, that provisional pole. See, Romeo's opted to go later. And Brim is disqualified for being on the end of the pit lane? I don't know what's happened there, but... EA moment, I guess. Back to Melon. Through this very tricky corner. You gotta really watch the traction here. Backend can easily step out. But he looks like he's gotten power very, very nicely coming down the straight now. DRS enabled. Hasn't got a toe from any of the cars in front. Very nice. He does that hairpin, keeps it in 4th gear. Final corner now to go. Has he gained that 1.5 tenths that he needed to get ahead of Alfa Romeo? A little bit of wheel spin on that curb. 32.1 is the time. 3.5 tenths up. And he goes on provisional pole.
What a great lap from the Alpha Tauri as we see Romeo slowing a little bit, maybe letting traffic through before he starts his lap. He'll open DRS down the main straightaway. See his time from the last lap. He'll climb on the binders into turn 1. Keeping it nice and tidy through 1. A little bit on the apex. The good run through 1, 2, and 3. We'll see what his time is as he comes up to the first sector line. He's 0.03 of a second down on his previous lap. He's got to find at least a little bit of time in Sector 2 and a ton of time in Sector 3.
Yeah, in the meantime, Faded and Antonio went up to P3 and 4, both getting same time again, 32.4. They were both on the 32.9 previously. Calces looks like he didn't get a good enough improvement. Nick K's up to P6. And it looks like Ferrari might be giving each other a tow here. You see Antonio giving his teammate a tow. This might make the difference in lap time here. Melon didn't have a tow coming down the straight. And we're going to see now how much this is going to help him. Has to spot his breaking point. Keeps in 3rd. 1 gear lower than Melon. Is that going to help him out? Final corner now. Has he gained enough time? It looks like he has. He's in the 31s. 4.5 temps. And just like that, Romeo back on provisional pole. He's keeping Melon at bay. Oh my god.
What a great lap from the Ferrari. Took a page out of the Williams esports book, giving his teammate a tow down the straightaway. As Focuser through turn 13. On to the back straight, he's 9th, his teammate 10th. Both part of the new 10 Controls esports team as he opens the DRS.
He's on 0 fuel. Is he actually? Is that actually true? I don't know. It says 0.0, so I mean he's just run out.
There you go.
Yeah. Told you, intelligent commentating. Did we catch these things?
Yes.
Got us there. Gone up to P11 with a 33-0. Very nice. Most people now just going out for their outlets for the final time. I don't know what's happened to Philip there.
That's not good. No,
Happens.
He doesn't have enough. Well, if he did spin, he doesn't have quite enough time to come into the pits, change his tires, and complete a lap. So now he's just kind of stuck on this set of tires.
Yeah, it's true. Not much you can do about that one. Melon's out for the final time. Alfa Romeo leaving it a little bit later than before. What is going on here? We've got a bit of a battle in this qualifying session. I think Weeksel doesn't want to get in the way there. Gated on his out lap too. Currently though, Romeo and Melon are a little bit clear from the rest.
Romeo's still in the pits. If he wants to get another lap in, he's got to hustle.
There he is, out of the pits, leaving it as late as possible.
I don't know that he's going to get there.
I honestly think he might have... I think he's left it too late. A 1 minute 32 on a hot lap, and he's leaving at 1 minute 20. I don't know if he's had an issue or something, but I think this might have just spoken to Melon that he has a free chance now. Unless Alfa Romeo just doesn't believe Melon can beat his time and he's just going for a... I don't know what he's going for. Well, here's Melon though. Trying to take provisional, which will be the actual pole position from Alfa Romeo, who is just Romeo now. I have to remember that. Turn 1. Keeps it steady.
Ooh, he's a little wide. He was a little shaky under brakes into turn 1. He was a little shaky in the middle of turn 1. He lost 0.06 of a second, and it shows.
We do have to remember though that even Alfa Romeo lost time in the first sector, still made it up in the next two. See, he's missed the apex a little bit there too. Romeo's not going to be able to set a lap time. Melon still on his... What's his second split going to be? It's going to be a slight improvement, 200ths, nearly 3. But that is not going to be enough. He needs to find that time in the final sector of the lap, which is mostly a straight. So this is going to be very good for Alfa Romeo, who I believe gave a tow to his teammate, or is giving a tow.
He does. Melon does have at least a little bit of a tow from the Mercedes in front. Not really a big tow. He wasn't close enough to get a huge tow, but he picked up a little bit of time through the hairpin around the final corner, up to the line. Can he take pole position? He can.
He's just missed out. Romeo is going to be on pole. Melon in P2, close behind. Faded. Daniel Bonner goes up to P3 with a 32.2. Hello. Faded about to finish his lap of his own. Antonio's finished his lap. He's going to stay with a 32.4. Just ahead of Antonio. Looks like a Red Bull there has lost the final corner. Faded crosses the line. He's not going to improve position. P3 with a 32.1. And it looks like that is the end of the qualifying session. Romeo on pole. Melon P2. Faded P3. Daniel Bonner P4. Very nice from him. P5 for Nick K at the end. Antonio 8 thousandths ahead of Calcis in P7. Antonio P6. Thomas Vink P8. Philip P9. Vixel gets into the top 10. And that's about it for qualifying at China. But we look to head to the race. How is rain going to affect it? How are setups going to affect it? We're all going to see it now. Coming up. .6 ain't no small gap. And he didn't even set a final lap.
Yeah.
That is quite strong from Romeo. He's confident, it seems.
Yes. I would be too if I said a 1:31.9.
I think it would take me like probably 20 hours. Actually, yeah, that's putting it lightly. Probably like 50 to do that in time trial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh, it is very wet. Very, very wet. This is wet weather tires, isn't it?
This looks like full wet. There's puddles all down the pit lane, surely.
Definitely not intermediates. That's gonna...
Who knows, though? If it looks like it's going to dry up later, people might just go for the inters. Those are at the, back and have nothing to lose. Especially. Probably a risk.
Well, I think if you're at the back, you can go onto the inters. But I think if you're at the front, you got to go for the full wets.
Oh, we're going to see what everyone has gone for in a couple seconds. We got 15 seconds and counting. 4 lights out.
We get ready to go here in Shanghai, China, at the Shanghai International Circuit, just outside the city. Get ready to go to the grid. Lights out. I'm ready. You're ready. 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go. Romeo gets a pretty good start. There's an Alpine behind that got a little bit of wheel spin. A McLaren at the back got some wheel spin. Everybody 2 and 3 wide. Antonio up the inside of Faded for 3rd. As Daniel and Calces battle for 5th. Side by side they go. The AlphaTauri on the outside almost lost it. The Red Bull running wide behind. Melon with a little bit of wheel spin. Oh, we've got a McLaren off. As they go 4 wide into turn 5.
Oh, and Counterfeit sends it.
All kinds of contact.
It's all kicking off here at China. Nobody's leaving it late to go for a move. You see behind there, Sharp's going for a move on Vixel. And it looks like he's just made the move stick. Vixel's going to send it back down the inside. No giving up positions right now. What a start that was from Antonio. Going up to P3 on the start. 3 positions gained. You see up in front, Melon and Alfa Romeo, they've had contact. He was on the outside. Melon goes back down the inside. There's contact again as Melon forces him off track. And Antonio down the inside. He might just go through on the both of them. Antonio Brancati is in P1, but he's side by side with Melon coming down the straight. And Melon gets ahead. Looks like he's used a lot more ERS there. Now that is controversial. You can see there was some collision there, and Melon ended up, you know, it looked like he forced him off there. I think Stewards will definitely be seen later.
Oh, we got a spinner at the back. That's Nick K into the grass. He's going to lose all kinds of positions as Melon sets the fastest lap of the race. Nick K just ran wide out of turn 14. He got a little bit on the curbs, I believe, and just lost the back end. As we look at the positions gained, the big gainer was Counterfeit. Up 8 spots, up to 8th. As Nick K was the big loser, he lost 10 spots. As Nick K and Kudos go side by side. That's Kudos on the outside. In the Aston Martin, he's gonna let Nick K have the position for now. He'll make a dive back up the inside into turn 5. They'll run side by side. Nick K on the outside. He got the better exit. Oh, he goes around. Nick K.
He's struggling.
The back end again, and Antonio's around.
What's happened to Antonio?
Antonio's around at the front. He's lost all kinds of time down to 8th.
What has happened there from P2 down to P8 after such a good start? Melon is now 2 seconds clear. You can see this is probably where the difference in setup has come through. Melon is absolutely lightning out in front as Folks and Vixel go side by side. And this long right-hander getting on the right line is crucial. See Foxa on the outside there. Couldn't find a way through, but he's in the toe. Coming down this straight. Pulls to the outside line. Gonna look to brake late. Brakes as late as possible. Vixel's defending it. Foxa still there on the outside. He's still there on the left. Now he's gonna have the inside for the final corner. And it looks like he's squeezed ahead, but has to go off track to do so. And Vixel, they're side by side, still coming down to turn 1. This is a battle for the ages right now for P11. Folks are on the inside. Looks like he's just about pipped him.
That was a pretty good move by the Red Bull. Took him a full straightaway. Well, almost 2 full straightaways to get it done, but a great move by the Red Bull as Counterfeit continues on the move. The Silver Arrow up 10 positions from the start all the way up to 6th as Thomas Vink a little bit of wheel spin in front. That's going to allow Counterfeit to close in. He'll look for a move all over the gearbox of the Red Bull through turn 9. Down the straightaway they go into the 11, 12, 13 complex. The Mercedes just not close enough for a move as Antonio and Daniel battle farther back. That's the Haas car on the outside. He got a little bit of wheel spin out of 12. He's not going to be able to keep the position. And the Ferrari will pick up another spot as he lost it a little bit on the exit. And the Haas back to the inside down the straightaway. And Daniel back into 7th as Counterfeit to the outside of Thomas Vink in turn 14. Side by side, a little wheel spin from the Mercedes. But he'll keep it up the inside for turn 16. And the Silver Arrow on the move, up 11 positions from the start. Up to 5th.
11 positions gained from Counterfeit. Absolutely unreal in these wet conditions. What a drive he's putting on right now. And his teammate, Lukudude, is putting on a bit of a show himself as Antonio and Philip are going side by side now. Philip has just squeezed through. Antonio's going to have the inside for the next corner. There's a little bit of contact. Philip has gone wide. Luca, they're almost 3 wide now. This is unreal. A bit of a snap there from Antonio. Coming down into the middle sector. Now we go. They're side by side, the Ferrari and the Haas. On the inside is Philip. Trying to keep behind his teammate. Oh, there's a little bit of wheel spin. Antonio looks like he's just going to squeeze ahead because of that. On the outside. Still side by side. Who's going to be the one to let go? No one wants to be the one Antonio on that weather patch. Looks like he's had to back out there. And Philip keeps P8. It's great racing there. Great racing.
It's great racing all the way through the field. We've seen a lot of guys have a little bit of problems with the traction, which I think is, you know, probably fairly common in the wet. As Romeo trying to follow Melon. He's closed the gap down to 0.6 of a second. Maybe a little bit of wheel spin or a mistake from the Alpha Tauri.
We've missed something. Either Romeo is just put some crazy laps in as we pull away because Luca Dude and Antonio are battling, and Luca's just got through on Antonio again. It looks like he has not adapted his setup for the wet, and he is really struggling. That really scared me for a second. Oh my god.
As Romeo puts in the fastest lap of the race, a 1:49.8. That's 0.2 of a second faster than Melon's previous fastest lap. As Calcess begins to close in on the Alpine in front of Faded, but he's got the silver arrow of counterfeit all over his gearbox. Here comes the Mercedes trying to pick up his 12th position in 5 laps. He can't make a move into turn 5. Everybody keeping it nice and tidy.
Absolutely, yeah.
So far, but a ton of action all throughout the field.
So you can see the gap now staying a little bit more stable between Melon now from Romeo. Got to keep your eye on that. He focuses now all over the back of Antonio. Oh my god, that's a huge slide, and Antonio has to go off track. He's really, really struggling with the conditions. Going deep again. Folks, another huge snap. Treacherous conditions. Some are dealing with it, some are not. Up ahead, Luca Dude has blown past Philip. See the straight line speed there. Philip might have another look down the inside. Breaks deep on the inside. Luca leaves just about enough room. Has the outside now. Turns into the inside for the next corner. And Luca makes up another position. Mercedes absolutely putting a show for us right now.
As Antonio runs wide at the exit of the final corner, and that's going to allow Focuser to jump on the Ferrari, and he will take 10th, the final points paying position, to move the Red Bull up to 10th. Antonio, he's got to have a problem because that Ferrari's going backwards in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, even after that mistake that he did, it just got worse and worse. As we can see, Vixo and Imagine now side by side, and Imagine just has so much better traction on that racing line, which is not exactly entirely realistic, but it is what it is. Oh my god, he's gone deep there. Vixo might just pop back through. Imagine struggling to get the power on. They're still side by side. Now the right-hander coming up. Vixo has the inside. As Imagine gone too wide there. Vixo has to leave room. A deadly curve on the outside. He's just about missed it. And Vixo very nicely keeps P13. As Kudos is going side by side with his teammate now. And it looks like Imagine has not put a fight for him there. Obviously, you give a little bit more space to your teammate, usually.
Well, that wasn't the case with Weber and Vettel, but...
Of course. Look at the pace that Counterfeit has right now. He's pulled up 1.3 seconds on Thomas Vink. Now he's right behind Calcess. Looking to make another move for his arsenal of moves that he's done today. See the lap times currently. Romeo and Melon within a 10th on their fastest laps. But it's not about the fastest, it's about the lap after lap basis. Can you pump up the lap times over and over again? That is the question.
Well, with as much wheel spin as we've seen today, I'm surprised we haven't seen more contact. Maybe a little bit of contact between a couple cars at the start, but the majority of the field hasn't been involved in any big shunts, which is shocking for as bad as these conditions are.
Yeah, I think we had 2 broken wings and a couple mishaps, but that's pretty good for a full wet race.
It does look like it's drying out a little bit. You can kind of start to see the racing line. Maybe that's just me, but
yeah, it definitely looks like the line is it definitely looks drier. Yeah, the rain looks a little bit lighter too. Obviously, the game is a little bit misleading sometimes, so we can only do our best.
this counterfeit closes in on Calcess into the hairpin. Calcess ran a little wide on the exit. The Mercedes not able to capitalize yet. He's been all over the rear wing of that AlphaTauri for about 4 or 5 laps now. Just can't quite get past him. As Luke gets past Antonio, and Antonio into the pits. Is the Ferrari going on to
I think we might see our first guinea pig, unless he has damage.
He does have a little bit of damage. He
So
did go on to the inters.
Yeah, so he's going to tell us now if the conditions are right. Obviously, those who have an engineer watching the stream are going to be a little bit of an advantage now, because they're going to see the lap times that Antonio's going to pump out. And obviously, he's going to relay that to his teammates, so it's quite good for Ferrari right now. Obviously, Melon is looking strong on pace, but with the changing conditions, the strategy is going to play a factor.
Yeah, I agree with Max Fan. I think we should jump on board with Antonio for at least a little bit of this lap. See how these intermediate tires are doing. Is it too wet, or is he putting in a Marco Andretti at Detroit style lap?
Look at counter it though. He's caught up to Calcess now, and he's caught up enough to get alongside into this hairpin. Side by side, Calcess leaves just about enough room on that exit. So much wheel spin there. How has he kept it on the track? You see, counterfeit there, going through on Calcess finally. Goes up to P4. And Foxer, I don't know what's happened there. Has he just missed the pit entry or something? But he is coming into the box.
Here comes Imagine. Imagine's gonna come with him.
He thinks it's time for the inters. Either that or he's gambling. Which I can understand, I guess. When you're far down enough.
I mean, you gotta try something. Antonio has picked up a little bit of time on straw. I don't know that it's not quite enough, but he has picked up a little bit of time in these last couple sectors.
I mean, it doesn't look like he's struggling that badly, so I think we might just be looking at a transition point of some sorts. These guys up ahead have to play it right. Bossing at the wrong time will be devastating. I mean, if we look at his sector times, we could probably see if he's improving or not. He hasn't set a fastest lap, I don't believe, so. Boxer as well. Looks like he's losing time to Kudos, so it's too wet still, it looks like. as Melon sets the fastest lap again. Antonio is 7 temps up. So hey, it may be time for Inters. Thomas Vink is in the box.
Is in. So clearly Red Bull knows something we don't, as Philip will follow him in. That's both Red Bulls into the pits. Vixel also into the pits.
It's an absolute frenzy, and if you get the strategy right, you know, really, really well, I think it could be a difference maker. Up ahead, the front three have not gone for it. Counter it too. Cal says too. They're leaving it another lap. Could be right, could not be.
Melon just set the fastest lap of the race, so I'm not entirely sold on this idea of Inters, as we have a yellow flag in Sector 1. I believe that's going to be for one of the Aston Martins, maybe one of the Red Bulls. Not entirely sure, but the bottom 10 or the bottom 8 all on intermediates. Thomas Vink, the first one of those on that strategy. He's not close enough to get Melon on the pit exit, as Melon works his way through turn 14 now.
Who's gonna blink?
Is he coming in?
It looks like Melon is not going to. Alfa Romeo is boxing though. Oh, he's just about missed the pit exit though. He's gone deep. That's gonna lose him a lot of time.
Well, Melon set the fastest lap of the race again, as Faded, Counterfeit, and Calcess all into the pits. If Melon's still setting the fastest lap of the race, I'm not entirely sold on this idea of intermediates quite yet.
I mean, I've been looking at the gap to the leader between Thomas and Melon, and he hasn't really been gaining as much as you should be if it's the right time. So, I don't know. See, Romeo is now out of the pit lane. If anyone we got to look at, it's him.
I think if you're Melon now, you have to respond. You can't. You can't. I know Romeo made a little bit of mistake on pit entry, but Melon won't know that.
Of course.
You know, so I think if you're Melon, you have to respond. Because if Romeo starts picking up time on those intermediates, you know, one lap could be a second, it could be 2 seconds, it could be. It's you just gotta respond.
Well, Romeo has this. He has Luke in front of him, and dirty air in this game can be a factor. He's not exactly breezing past him right now. So this looks like he might just be losing even more time.
He just set a purple middle sector.
There, Melon goes.
There we go.
Oh, he goes deep as well. So we've seen a few people miss that pit entry. It looks like it's just tricky conditions to make the pit lane. You see Brim going deep there. And Alfa Romeo is going to take that very, very happily. Melon ahead is leaving the box. Romeo is coming down the pit lane, or the pit straight. And it looks like Melon is just going to stay ahead. And he may have even gained there. By staying that extra lap, Melon has gained a whole second.
What an in-lap from the Alpha Tauri.
And you know that Luca, he stayed out as well. He's caught right up to Thomas Vink.
So the Mercedes, one's up to 4th, the other is battling now for 6th. As Straw sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:49.3. Do expect that to be to be broken here shortly by Melon on the intermediate tires.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of pace. And it's just drying up. Now, with our hunch on the setups, we guess that Melon doesn't hope it dries up too much. We're not even halfway yet in this race. If it's going to keep drying up, I think we might just be looking at slicks soon. And we know that Romeo has a lot of pace when it comes to that, as we saw in the qualifying. But who knows, maybe the weather might just go straight back to full wet.
So if Melon did go with a wet setup, he's got to make hay while he can. He's got the gap up to 3 seconds. He's just got to keep chugging away at this lead as he sets a fastest final sectors. Romeo into the 147s.
Oh my.
Lap from the Ferrari. We haven't seen a full Melon lap yet. We'll get that here in a second. Works his way out of turn 4. Purple first sector. What lap are we going to get from the AlphaTauri?
Yeah, the fastest lap point can make the difference. Being so close in the championship, every point matters for sure. We don't want to let these opportunities go to waste. Oh! I don't know if that was intentional, but that looked like a huge slide. But he doesn't seem to have lost all that much time. And he's 1.5 seconds up. Definitely into his conditions now.
Yes, yes. We have crossed over.
You see, he's always gaining on Romeo. He's gained about 6-7 temps in this last lap. I was cut away because Foxa has just got ahead of Philip. I don't know if that was a natural overtake or if it was a mistake from Philip. But now we're going to see the difference in pace as he crosses the line to set a 46.9. So that's a second faster than Romeo was. Romeo improves to a 47.5. If that was all ERS, they're about the same.
Gap now 3.8 seconds. The AlphaTauri closing, or the AlphaTauri pulling away as Luca Dude pulls up on the back of the Red Bull. This is Thomas Vink. Battle for 6th. We've seen the Silver Arrows move up through the field with ease today as Vink will pull away a little bit at the exit of turn number 3. Luca closing in a little bit in turn 5. Still not close enough to make a move. He's got to pick up a ton of time through this middle sector if he wants to get past Vink, either out of turn 10 or down the back straightaway. Just not close enough quite yet. Get a little bit of a toe as the exit 10. Vink maybe pulling away a little bit down this straightaway. Luca's been close the last couple laps. He's kept the gap at about 0.6 of a second. But Thomas Vink just kind of keeping him at arm's length at this point as the Red Bull pulls away out of 13. Luca Dude will have to recollect himself. As Melon with the fastest lap of the race at 146.3. Romeo matches it with a 146.3. So the two leaders
apart from
the fastest laps.
Yeah. Apart from the racing battle, we got a fastest lap battle going on right now. Obviously, with the difference in pit stops, people are on different age of tires, and folks is really gaining Daniel Bodnar here. Despite being on 2-lap older tires, he might spot the inside. He goes to try and send it. Oh, there's a bit of contact.
Oh, he goes around.
Oh my god. Well, with the live streaming there, I believe... I don't know what to believe. I mean, I think Focuser was in his right to go there. I think Daniel might have turned in a little bit early, but maybe a bit premature to say that. What do you think about that, Adam?
I mean, I don't know. I think you could put a little bit on Focuser for shoving it up the inside so late into turn 1, but I do think Daniel has to leave him at least a little bit of room. Although I don't know that Daniel knew he was there or that he was coming.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to be seeing that later. Thomas Vink, yep, definitely keeping Luca Dude at bay. And here's Antonio gaining on Luke. You see, even holding the ERS, Luke doing so himself, doing his best to keep Antonio behind, but with the toe, with the slipstream, he's gonna have the outside line, breaks deep. Still has that outside line. Luke leaves him just about enough room. Coming down to the final corner. They're side by side. Antonio backs out. Sets up the exit for this next straight. Pushing with the ERS again. This is for 10th. The final point scoring position. Oh!
Oh!
Contact there between the Ferrari and the McLaren. And Antonio sends Luke round. And I think there's no dispute there of whose fault that was.
I would agree. I mean, Luke checked up a little bit, but Antonio can't send it into the back of the McLaren.
There's a car in front of you. You definitely can't drive through the car. It's not an option. You have to pick a side. If one exists, of course. But moving on. Track doesn't seem to be getting much drier. Oh, we have yellow flags. As Philip's gone off. He's lost 9th position. Even 8th, I believe that was. What has happened there to the Haas driver? These guys are still battling for the fastest lap up ahead. Oh my god.
Romeo set fastest lap last time. Romeo's picked up a little bit of time. It's now 3.3 is the gap as Lucadou closing in on Thomas Vink. Down the main straightaway they go. Mercedes a little bit closer as Kudos and Daniel battle back here for 11th. Lucadou all over the rear wing of the Red Bull. Can't find a way around him through the tight, twisty section. Vink will pull a little bit of time on him at the exit of 3. And Lucadou not close enough to make a move into turn 5. We know you can't make a move through this middle sector as the skies begin to lighten up as we look out the back of the Red Bull. Maybe a sign that we're gonna get some dry weather soon as 4 cars run nose to tail. That's Daniel in the middle of this train, Nick K at the back. Is Nick K looking for a way around the Haas?
Oh.
He'll go to the outside in turn 8. What a send through turn 8. Can't get the move done. He'll be all over the gearbox of the Haas as they round turn 10.
That looked like a lethal move, but he couldn't make it stick. Daniel Bonner just covered it off.
Mellon with the fastest lap of the race, a 1:45.2.
Yeah, that's unreal. See, look how much these guys are gaining in that toe, that slipstream. Up ahead, Daniel Bond now looking for the inside, has to back out. As Luka Dude has just got ahead of Thomas Vink up into P6 just before turn 1. We cut back the action down in P12 and 13. Nikkei just couldn't find a way around.
As Daniel to the outside of Kudos in turn 1, Nick K will take advantage of Daniel's wide line, and the Alpine will send it up the inside of the Haas. He'll get the move done. Now he looks around the outside of the Aston Martin. He can't quite clear him as these guys run nose to tail through the first sector. Is somebody going to make a move into turn 5? It doesn't look like it. Nick K, a ton of wheel spin on the exit as he chases down the Aston Martin for 11th.
Now, you can see the gap between Mel and Romeo extended to 4 seconds. 4.2 and counting. So Melon's really extracting the times now. And the race win getting further and further out of Romeo's sight.
Just 10 laps to go in this 10 controls Tier A Chinese Grand Prix as Imagine closing in on the back of the Haas in front. He's not close enough to make a move as Daniel using a little bit of ERS to pull away from the Aston Martin as Nick K looked to the inside of Kudos. He wasn't close enough to make the move, but he'll be right on top of the Aston Martin as they work their way through turn 16. Being just not quite close enough.
Yeah, very difficult to overtake in the wet, but you can see we had quite a few despite that. Nikkei trying to get through on Kudos, although not for the point. It may be if we consider the 3-second time penalty that Philip has. Though there may be a removed penalty at the end. We don't know. These guys are going to play for it. Track still not looking like it's dry enough for slicks, obviously. But we can only hope that the slick conditions will come out. You can see that Melon is constantly improving. So if we're looking at any indication the track is drying up, there it is. Vader sets his own fastest lap, so people are improving on their own time. So track definitely drying. you got a blocked nose there, friend.
Yes. Faded has set laps that have been pretty consistent with Melon these last couple times. A little bit faster than Romeo. Romeo hasn't proved on his time as we get a car around. That's Phillip. That's at the exit of turn 16 down the main straightaway. He'll lose all kinds of time down to 17th.
And any chance of points that he wanted has just gone down the drain. Unfortunate. You see, we saw that Philip was struggling a lot. We cut to Nick K on his continued attempt to overtake Kudos, the side-by-side. This is about the close, as close as Nick K has gotten. You see, Kudos is just squeezing ahead. And now this is definitely for a point. P10 due to Philip's mishap.
Alpine trying to get around the Aston Martin. He hasn't been able to find a way around him. He got a ton of wheel spin at the exit of turn 10. that's certainly not going to help him into this 11, 12, 13 complex. He will get at least a little bit of a toe down this back straightaway. Is Faded with the fastest lap of the race. As the Aston Martin pulls to the inside down the straightaway. Might be weaving a little bit like Marcus Ericsson, 5,500, or Simon Pagina. Okay, still not close enough to make a move. As Daniel right behind the Alpine, Imagine right behind Daniel for 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. Luke way farther back as we look at the gaps. Not really much close racing other than this train.
You see in the top, like, 6, even down to top 9 you could probably include. Everyone is just in their own space, running their own race. And then at the back, in P10, there's a bit of a train, so... You see the difference in lap time has just separated the drivers out.
Faded is the one that's really in no man's land. He's got Romeo 5 seconds in front of him. He's got Counterfeit 6 seconds behind him. He's really just kind of running his own race. As Mellon sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:44.8. Romeo responds with a 1:44.6. Does Faded run a faster lap than that? No, he doesn't.
The track drying ever still. Still not slicks. Obviously, anyone wanting higher positions is going to be begging for slicks. I.e. Romeo. Just any chance at a difference in strategy. You see Nick K gaining on Kudos here. Looking to the inside. Late move. But he's just about made it stick. Goes up to P10. Kudos left the door open, and just like that, Nick K took it.
Now Nick K is the train conductor. Head down the front straightaway. It'll be the Alpine, followed by the Aston Martin of Kudos, the Haas of Daniel, and the Aston Martin of Imagine. And then a little farther back, we have Luke, Vixel, and Straw all battling. 14th. You can cover these 4 up here, Nick K, Kudos, Daniel, and Imagine with a blanket. All within about 2 seconds. Or a second and a half. Mellon continues to lead. 6 laps to go here in China. He's been basically perfect all day as Straw trying to get around Vixel. Can't find a way around him through turns 7 and 8. Mellon fastest lap of the race, 1:44.6. Honestly, it's just kind of, it's really impressive how long he's kept these tires alive and how many fastest laps he's set.
Yeah, the fastest laps definitely have to be tied in to the weather. Oh my god, Vixel there, getting all kinds of moments on the exit. And Straw is just going to pop right by. Although they are side by side, the amount of straight line speed that Vixel generated there. They're going to be side by side coming down into the hairpin. Vixel on the outside, just about keys ahead. I don't know how he's managed that, but he did.
Might have touched a little bit on the exit. I thought I saw the Williams get a little bit of wheel spin. It wasn't enough contact to make a difference. Straw not close enough in turn 1. He will settle behind the Alfa Romeo for probably the rest of the first and second sectors.
Now I don't know about you, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of rain now.
I'm not either. Right on board with Mellon. Not a ton of rain spots on the camera. Just a couple, but track is definitely starting to dry. Is this a case where the track starts to dry with really, as Melon says, the fastest lap again? As the track starts to dry here with about 4 laps left, or maybe somebody goes on to the softs right at the end and gets fastest lap of the race.
I mean, these kind of conditions make for... Oh! Yeah, he saved that one there. Oh my god, botting out on the curb. Let's say from Imagine to keep it on track. But yeah, as we were saying, this is a make or break kind of deal with the weather, because if you stay out on the inters and it turns to dry, you could pretty much lose 4 to 5 seconds a lap. Even more. But if you box and it's just not the right time, you lose positions. So it's a risky game. Obviously, those the most at risk are the ones ahead. Although they are not very close to each other in terms of interval.
No, I think if anyone were to do it, I think it might be maybe one of the Mercedes, or one of the Red Bulls. We saw the Red Bulls with a little bit of a old strategy early on. But I think it'd have to be one of them, and I think they'd have to hit fairly shortly in order to get it to work.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely no rain anymore, but definitely not dry enough for any kind of slick tire yet. Although sometimes it can look slightly wet, but the slicks just work. So until somebody just goes for it and bees that, you know, guinea pig for the rest of the field, we just won't know which one is faster. At the moment, it definitely looks still like Inters. But no rain.
I'm voting for Brim. Can we ask the McLaren pit wall to pit Brim, see what happens? I mean, he's 24 seconds behind Philip.
Yeah. Brim, box now for slicks, box now for slicks. I think he's got the message. Don't worry.
We are asking Brim. Somebody said they were gonna ask Brim. I believe that's the McLaren pit wall.
Yeah, that is the McLaren pit wall. Oh, that's Philip though. He's gonna go in the box. So I guess he might be our guinea pig, just like that. He's definitely gonna be on the softs. That looks like a broken wing.
Brim says no.
Well, he doesn't have that much to lose. Although he said no and went in anyway.
He's doing it!
For the culture. Still wet. And even, I mean, at this stage of the race, it's pretty much no-go to box because you just won't get that time back, even if it's full dry. It's just going to be tricky conditions, and these guys are going to have to deal with them.
Philip's a little bit slow ahead.
Oh. Yeah, I guess the slicks aren't working.
No, but we appreciate it.
Yes.
We do appreciate it.
Anything to... Oh! Philip is in the wall. And it's too late for a safety car.
Brim is apparently very mad at us.
Yeah, that is Philip. His race is over. Safety car will not come out. Because that is cheats this late in the race. Don't want to have a Monza incident. We all know how the Tifosi felt about that one.
We know how Mercedes felt about Abu Dhabi, so. Can't have it both ways.
Yeah, exactly. I guess we're just gonna cruise along to the finish line. Unless... we don't know what the unless means, but unless... we're waiting for the action. When is the action coming? As we're on the penultimate lap now. Or at least Fate... well, Fate is just at the fastest lap, so... extra point for him. Melon is definitely going to want that, but... the time right now... is only 600ths difference. There's about a 10th between all three. Even counterfeits in for the race for the fastest lap. So we've got a sort of qualifying battle for the fastest lap right now. With about 1.5 laps to go. Luca does have a 3-second time penalty, but being 5 seconds clear of Thomas Vink, it looks like that's probably not going to be a factor. Just had a very good wet pace.
Melon around turn 13.
Oh!
He's around. Melon
No
is
way!
spun at the exit of 13.
Oh
Round
my
goes
god!
the Alpha Tauri.
Oh
and
my
Romeo
god!
takes the race lead.
What has just happened? What has just happened? Melon has lost it in turn 13 at the long right-hander. And just like that, the race win has just fallen out of his hands. I mean, we were sitting around waiting for something to happen, but we didn't... okay, listen. This is not scripted. This is not scripted, I swear.
We know what the unless means now. As Romeo sets the fastest lap of the race, he is 4 seconds clear of Melon.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just like that, Romeo is just on to take the championship lead. Because he's going to get a whole 7 point... I mean, if he keeps the fastest lap, it'll be 7 points. Which he'll be very, very happy with. And he's 5 times clear with that. Melon is going to be absolutely fuming with himself. A very costly error. And Antonio takes the fastest lap from his teammate. I guess James was not on the radio with Antonio. Them to abort the fastest lap of the race.
Romeo through turn 10. J.R. Hildebrand part 2. As Melon lost it at the exit of 13 just 1 lap ago. Romeo safely through 13. No spin on the exit. He's got just a straightaway to go. He'll jump on the binders into turn 14. He's got a 4.7 second lead. Melon had the race lead. He led the entire race. He was gonna get fastest lap, the Grand Slam, but he's thrown it away. And Ferrari wins in China. Melon will come home second. Aided rounds out the podium. Counterfeit 4th. Calces 5th. Luca Dude in 6th. What a race.
I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. But the battle rages on still. We got these guys fighting for P11. They're not going to just leave it up to lose a position just like this. The battle's going to continue to the finish line. You can see Kudos gone deep there. Daniel Bonner looking for a switchback. That's a bit of a moment. But it looks like positions are not going to be affected by that. Romeo is going to win the Chinese Grand Prix out of nowhere due to such a huge mistake from Melon. I mean, oof. I don't even think Melon will want to speak to us.
We've got to try, though. Driver of the day, counterfeit. And I would certainly agree with that. We do have a message from McLaren. Softs were not faster. I do appreciate Brim being the guinea pig.
Yes.
As we look at the final race order, Romeo wins, Mellon second, Faded third, Counterfeit fourth, Calcas fifth, Luca Dude sixth, Thomas Vink seventh, Focuser eighth, Antonio ninth, and Nick K, fastest lap of the race on the final lap, will round out the points.
Nick K got the fastest lap in the end.
Yes, he did.
We're going to get into the interviews right after this, everyone. So don't go anywhere. We're going to talk to our race winner for sure. He's definitely going to have things to say. But I doubt Lennon is interested in talking right now. I just have an inkling, you know? We're going to cut away my very amazing face. We're going to get these guys into the interview room shortly. As let's talk first to our race winner, Alfa Romeo, aka Romeo Gagliotti. Unbelievable. The change of events. You have to talk to us. What is going through your mind right now?
Okay, so it started with qualifying. Antonio and I were in a call. We were debating on, okay, what the fuck should we do? What should we do with the wings? So we went for 25, 27. Well, initially our plan was 20 to 19. So we went for a little bit higher downforce. I got pole with that setup, which I was really happy about. And then at the start, Melon pushed me off, by the way. And I don't know if you saw, but yeah, you will see later.
We saw it on the stream. We didn't see the previous event, so we couldn't make a judgment like that. Like the previous one.
Yeah. So after that, I was behind Antonio. Antonio died, unfortunately. And then I was really close with Melon. Then he was a little bit faster though, but sometimes I was able to keep up with him. And eventually, at the end, he just spun, and I was going insane. And yeah, I'm really happy because it was such an intense race. I've put my heart into it, and I've won.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot be disappointed with that. And the championship lead, just like that, falls right into your hands. You're definitely not going to be upset with that one. You have...
I am definitely not. I'm really happy.
You have next week is going to be a sprint race at Circuit of the Americas. Race.
Oh, one shot, come on.
How are you feeling for that?
Well, I immediately think one shot in Austin, really easy to invalidate. Sprint race will be fun. I think when we also look at F1 esports, for example, I think we can expect a very chaotic race.
Absolutely.
So yeah, basically that. And I'm looking forward to it because I feel comfortable.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've done a lap. I've done a few laps, and Antonio was furious about how fast I was without effort.
Yeah, I don't know what... Can you give some insight into... I mean, actually, is he in the call? Yeah, he's waiting for us. Okay, we'll ask him himself. Well, thank you for talking to us, Alfa Romeo. We will speak to you soon. Good job on the win.
Yeah, see you later, guys. Thank you.
Next, we're going to talk to Counterfeit. Definitely my driver of the day.
Oh, hello.
Bossman's too. You made so many positions up.
Oh my god, that was a crazy race at the start. Jesus Christ.
I mean, it talked us through. We didn't really see. You just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I know. I was at P16, so I was like, all right, drop the fuel, crank up that wing, and then I just sort of sent it. Had a good line where everyone just got out of my way. I know Luca and Vix were tangling with each other that they weren't too happy about, but I managed to get through. And then just had better pace than like Thomas and Kalsa, so I managed to just break my way through there, and then it was just smooth sailing from there. I couldn't really catch Faded.
Yeah.
He just cranked, but yeah, that was a good race. I was fucking sweating there the whole time.
I'm sure. I mean, there must have been some of the setups because you and Luca, when it came to the race, were just so much faster than everyone.
I mean, I think I don't actually know what setup he chose, but I just knew that I'm gonna need more downforce to overtake people. So
Yeah, it's true.
and Kalsas was keeping me on my toes because I think the first corner he just gained so much on me. I'm not sure if that's like controller or something, but I had to keep focus. But anytime there was a traction zone, I just gained it back, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, that was fun.
great job on the race.
Yeah.
You really put on a show for us.
I mean, yeah, I just need to sort out my quali maybe, but it turns out I don't even need to sort it out because I'll just get back in the race. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thanks for talking to us,
All right, then.
Counterfeit.
Yeah, that was fun. See you guys next week.
See you soon. Next, we're gonna talk to is Faded. Was he came P3 at the end. Obviously, couldn't kind of melon after his mistake, but still a solid podium. Faded, talk to us about your race. A little bit lonely at the end, but the start was pretty chaotic. You want to talk to us from your point of view?
Start was, I mean, I guess not ideal. Got pushed wide a little bit by Antonio, but other than that, I had quite a lonely race. Struggled quite a bit with balance. Didn't realize that there was going to be rain in the race, so I was stuck with a dry setup. Changed the wing a little bit, but yeah, overall struggled for balance. Pace wasn't great until the interstint, but overall happy with the podium, especially with the pace that Melon and Romeo had. They were just on another level. But to get P3 is something that I am very happy with.
Yeah, I mean, after all that carnage, to get through and get P3 ahead of your rivals, well, the rivals for the P3 championship fight, can't be too upset with that. You have I guess it does count as a home race at USA Soccer of the Americas next week. How are you feeling for that track?
Code is difficult, but I like it. Pace of Melon and Alpha, I think they're just gonna be another level again. But I'm feeling confident. Hopefully gonna be able to get a podium there as well. A track I really like. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Thanks for talking to us, Faded. Good job on the podium.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to talk to Antonio Brancati.
Hello.
Now, you went a little bit from hero to zero there. A little bit struggling. You want to talk to us what was going on?
I mean, the qualifying was my last attempt was very good, but since I had the slipstream on the lap before, Romeo didn't get the time to give me a slipstream because he got caught by the AI, and on that straight I was improving by 4/10, and I lost everything just on the last corner again the 10th. But I did probably my best start ever from P6 to P3. And yeah, I overtook Romeo because he got pushed wide by Melon. And just a tiny bit of, not paying attention. Not paying attention. How do you say?
Paying attention, yeah. You talking about using ERS because you just didn't use any on the when you were alongside him and like ended up giving him the position.
When I was P2, just a little bit of a distraction, and I had an oversteer and I lost like 10 places. And then since I actually had like every lap, not every lap, but like I had every lap just 1/10 of the pace from Alfa Romeo and Melon. I was just doing all the times like them, but every time just a 10 slower or whatsoever. And once I was going to overtake the Haas, I don't know why I just tangled with him. Maybe I didn't give him space, or I just moved in too late. I don't know. I just have to see. But from that moment, I continue with just without a front wing, and I kept on losing places until I was the first one to put intermediates, and I made like the dance of the pits. Like everyone after me just started pitting, and it was fun on the last laps because I had 75% tire wear. So yeah, but I feel very happy for my man Romeo. At least I know that I finished the race with a very, very good pace, and even though I finished P9, it feels still okay because now I know where to work on.
Yeah.
Just that tiny moments of the race.
Progress is inevitable. So you slowly work on it. You'll see improvements over time. But anyways,
yeah, I would like to make a promise from now, and if you want to just clip it. I'm taking these moments on this game and with you guys when I race, the TRA guys, to make myself big improvement for next season. And as I usually say with every IRL season in Ferrari, I will be there next season learning from my mistakes, and I hope I can achieve a fight with these guys on the championship leaderboard.
If you keep at it, I can guarantee that you will. Thank you for talking to us, Antonio. Great insight there into the race. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow for
TRB, yeah?
TRB. Yeah, I will be commentating. Bye-bye, guys.
For sure. Well, we've come to the end of our broadcast. It has been wild. It has been me and Adam. It's going to be goodbye from me. It's going to be goodbye from Adam.
Bye.
There it is. Thank you everybody for watching, for the follows. We had a follow there at the end from Juan. Sorry for the late call out. It was just a bit busy. We'll see you tomorrow for Tier B, their version of events. Hope you like the new camera angle. I didn't set up the proper one in time, but I think this works. You can see my cupboard a little bit. But I have to get in on that drama that is going on in Lobby 1. So, I will see you guys soon. Thank you all for watching.
See ya.